We can disrupt the season for a Winter World Cup. We can disrupt the season for a global health epidemic. There's no reason why the season should start, as it's supposed to when we've had, potentially 2-3 months of football, pushed back. I just don't really understand it at all. Morale, I think is getting low now. People are less confident that play is going to resume. But then when you hear the clubs are, more committed than ever to finishing the season, and it's unanimous across the league, across the leagues, that they want to finish the season. That does sort of give you that little boost that we might see some football this season. We might see Liverpool lift the league title. So it's good to see that, because I think a lot of people are a bit down in the dumps right now about what's going to happen.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is all speculation at the minute. Nobody has a single clue what is going to go on, and this is the issue. It's okay as such as me and you not knowing what's going to happen, but the footballers, the clubs, to not know what's going to happen when some of them are going to be in a lot of financial trouble at the end of this is quite appalling. And I hope it gets resolved sooner rather than later. It comes to a point where part of me thinks that even if they say now, right, cancel the season, cancel now, that's it, we're finishing the season as it is, that would be a better decision than what is happening at the minute, because at least then they've got a clear plan.
It will be a decision, yeah.
Exactly. Whereas right now that there isn't a decision. They're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, which can't be done because, as I say, these players it's their jobs, it's their livelihoods at the end of the day, and it needs to be a decision sooner rather than later. So let's hope for more meetings in the future, James, and that a decision is decided sooner rather than later. Do you have any other questions on this matter?
Well, it's more just, as you said before, really, I think fans need to be kept in the loop and not be given information, via, the usual media outlets who we need to be given, like the itineraries of the meetings, specifically what's said, addressing each point, and then perhaps some way of fans having an input as well into these meetings, because at the moment it's just clubs meeting up, things aren't getting discussed, which seem to, be big glaring things like the potential, end to the season contracts weren't discussed at today's meeting. And they seem like very big things, which a lot of players and fans will be anxious about. So if there's any way for, players to also be involved in this PFA, maybe need to have a bigger role in this going forward, because it's not going to be over soon. But I feel like it could be done a lot more efficiently and communicated a lot better.
The idea I have, James, is obviously I don't know the logistics of how this would work and stuff like that. But what would be better is wait for this lockdown to be over. Give it 2 or 3 weeks for EFL first. Give them 2 or 3 weeks to get back into fitness, return as clubs to start training, stuff like that. Then give them a bumper TV deal, every game on television, behind closed doors. Give some money to the EFL. People will be desperate for football then. The world won't be the same just because it's after a lockdown. The world won't be back to normal. Give them a few weeks on their own, not with the Premier League football, so that people tune in because they're desperate to watch any kind of football match. Then bring the Premier League back 4 weeks or so later when the EFL is almost completed, and then get the Premier League done. And if it
win-win for everyone, broadcasters, the FA, the clubs, everyone seems to win out of that.
Exactly, and at the end of the day, if that means the season isn't finished till August, then the season's not finished till August. Start the next one in October, as you said. Like have a shorter pre-season next year. They've got the Euros next year. Maybe push them later. Maybe make it a shorter European Championship. Whatever, you can work things. The world will change after this. The world will completely change. So why not change football? And it seems to be something that people don't understand. And I don't get the motion of let's finish the season now. Let's completely void it so that it doesn't affect next season as well. Because at the end of the day, well, why start something new when this one's not finished?
That's the worst, I think the worst sort of solution to this, because there's no reason to end it at all. It doesn't make any sense when you look at it logically at all.
I saw something yesterday. So Scotland have completely suspended their league, so their season is over. Partick Thistle got relegated. They had a game in hand. If they'd have won that game in hand, they'd have survived. And it's a similar situation in the Premier League with Aston Villa. If they were to do that in the Premier League, Aston Villa would go down despite them having a game in hand against Sheffield United. And, that's why this sort of thing can't happen for me at the end of the day. You either completely void the season and piss a lot of people off still, because at the end of the day, Liverpool won't have won the league. You'll have Leeds not coming up to the Premier League. You'll have loads of different things. You'll have points deductions again for Bolton next season that they already had this season. Or you just finish the league when possible, which makes the most sense.
There's no rush, is there?
No.
Really. No one's bothered about putting a time frame. I'm happy to wait, 2, 3, even longer, just to, finish what we started and then get ready for the next season. I'm not bothered about, rushing it now and squeezing it all into like a short time frame.
I think
It doesn't matter.
The people that do, the clubs that are finishing mid-table, they've got nothing really to play for, and they're worried that actually it'll affect their season next season as well, and what they have to play for next season. But at the end of the day, if that's the case, then so be it. It's been in the middle of a global pandemic. Everyone will be suffering after this and during this. So it's, don't get me wrong, we're speaking like this like it is easy for the Premier League and the EFL to decide. It's absolutely not. It's a crisis that many people are going through, and many people have to make tough decisions throughout this. But at the end of the day, as you said before, they're not making a decision, and that's what we're alluding to in this video. At this point in time, they're saying they're desperate to finish this season, but because they're not coming up with concrete plans, because they don't seem to have a plan A, B, and C, it seems to me as if the longer this goes on, the less and less chance this is to be finished.
We just need some leadership, don't we?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's all we need, is a bit of direction, a bit of communication, and some actual leadership from the people that run football in the country.
And we've seen issues for the last few years of Premier League leaving the EFL behind, leaving grassroots football behind, and this just seems more of the case. It seems at the end of the day that it's showing the problems in grassroots football, the problems in the Premier League, the problems in European football. I saw yesterday UEFA want the Champions League finished by August the 29th. They want to try and get the final done. At the end of the day, they need to be concentrating on making sure that the leagues are finished before then, and that it's okay in every country before they do that, before they get thousands of fans in Istanbul during a global pandemic. But of course, at the end of the day, UEFA are only worried about that big final of the Champions League. Just like the first thing that changed was the European Championship. So, it's going to be very difficult for this and for different things to happen with football. But hopefully, a decision is made soon, James.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, the sooner we can sort of have an idea of what's going to happen, the better, really. So it'll put a lot of minds at ease, fans, clubs, and players.
Yeah, it's just the fact that FIFA, UEFA, FA, all the FAs, the Spanish FA, La Liga, Premier League, everybody needs to work together in making a decision at the end of the day. So let's hope for
wait and see.
That sees this season finished rather than just everything abandoned, like they did with grassroots football. But that's another matter, and we'll speak about that times. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are you getting less hopeful that the season will be finished as the days go on, like me and James are? What's your plan for the season? Has it changed since we did our last video on what we think should happen? And let us know in the comments. And we will be back over the weekend for more videos. Thank you.
Cheers.